The San Diego State Aztecs are the collegiate athletics and sports teams that represent San Diego State University. San Diego State has organized programs for baseball, basketball, football, soccer, golf, gymnastics, rowing, softball, tennis, track, swimming, diving, women's volleyball, and water polo. The Aztecs compete in NCAA Division I. Its primary conference is the Mountain West Conference. The women's water polo team participates in the Golden Coast Conference, having moved from the Big West Conference in July 2013. The men's soccer team participates as an associate member of the Pac-12 Conference. The women's rowing team is a member of the American Athletic Conference, following moves from the Western Intercollegiate Rowing Association to Conference USA in 2013 and from CUSA to the American in 2014. San Diego State's football team had intended to move to the Big East Conference beginning in 2013, with the remainder of its current Mountain West sports moving to the Big West. But on January 17 it was reported that all of San Diego State's athletic teams would be readmitted to the Mountain West. News reports often mention Montezuma Mesa or news from the Mesa when discussing San Diego State-related sports events. The San Diego State campus is known as Montezuma Mesa, as the university is situated on a mesa overlooking Mission Valley and is located at the intersection of Montezuma Road and College Avenue in the city of San Diego. School colors. The school colors are scarlet, black and white. Sports facilities: Aztec Athletic Center, Viejas Arena, Qualcomm Stadium, Mission Bay Aquatic Center, Tony Gwynn Stadium, Peterson Gymnasium, Aztec Aquaplex, San Diego State Sports Deck, San Diego State Softball Stadium, San Diego State Tennis Stadium, San Diego State Practice Facility and AMP Fields. Teams: National Team Championships. As of July 2, 2015, San Diego State has one NCAA Team National Championship. Men's Volleyball 1973. See also Mountain West Conference National Team Championships. List of NCAA schools with the most NCAA Division I championships. Below the 8 non-Division I NCAA national team titles: Men's Basketball 1941, Football 1966, 1967, 1968, Rugby 1987. Women's Cheerleading, Dance 2011, Varsity Sports, Football. Current head coach Rocky Long. San Diego State University's football team is part of the highest level of American collegiate football, the Football Bowl subdivision of Division I. Until the 2010 season, the Aztec football team had not won a bowl game in the past 37 years. In his second year as head coach, Brady Hoke led the team to an 8-4 record in the 2010 regular season and a win in the 2010 Poinsettia Bowl, before accepting the head coaching job at the University of Michigan. San Diego State Athletics have contributed to the National Football League. NFL head coaches were members of the Aztec football program. Brian Billick, NFL former head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. He returned to coaching with San Diego State University, serving as the tight ends coach and recruiting coordinator for 5 seasons. After being named the offensive coordinator of Utah State University, Billick improved the second-worst offense in Division I-A into a top 10 offense in only 3 seasons. Don Coryell, a former NFL head coach of the San Diego Chargers, former Aztec head coach. Herman Edwards, NFL head coach of the New York Jets and Kansas City Chiefs, a former Aztec and Philadelphia Eagles player, fondly remembered for the "Miracle in the Meadowlands" play against the rival New New York Giants; John Fox, a former NFL head coach of the Carolina Panthers; former Aztec player Joe Gibbs, Hall of Fame NFL head coach of the Washington Redskins; NASCAR team owner, a former Aztec player and assistant coach John Madden, Hall of Fame AFL NFL head coach of the Oakland Raiders; a former Aztec assistant coach Ted Tollner, a former NFL offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, San Francisco 49ers and San Diego Chargers; former Aztec head coach Sean Payton, head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Some of the more famous San Diego State students to latest star in the NFL are: see List of San Diego State football players. Willie Buchanan, 1972 NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year and three-time Pro Bowl cornerback. Ken Burrow, 1971 second-round draft choice, holds team record for AVG per catch, 22.5 in a year. Isaac Curtis, four-time Pro Bowl wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals. Mike Douglas, a three-time Pro Bowl linebacker, Mad Dog, played 9 seasons in the NFL, 8 of them with the Green Bay Packers. Marshall Faulk, 7-time Pro Bowl running back for the Indianapolis Colts and St. Louis Rams. Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2011. Gary Garrison, nicknamed The Ghost, an AFL All-Star in 1968 with the Chargers and a three-time NFL Pro Bowl wide receiver. Larry Glover, in his 13-year NFL career as a defensive tackle with 4 teams, he was a Pro Bowl selection 6 times. After playing 2 games in his rookie season and 15 in his second year, Glover did not miss a game in his final 11 seasons. Led the NFL with 17 sacks in 2000. Robert Griffith, NFL strong safety for the Minnesota Vikings, Cleveland Browns and Arizona Cardinals, played 13 seasons, in which he started 164 of his 195 games played. Executive member of the NFL Players Association for 6 years. Joe Lavender, NFL cornerback for the Washington Redskins. Dan McGuire, QB, was the 16th pick in 1991 by the Seattle Seahawks, playing 6 years in the NFL. Dan is the brother of former Major League slugger Mark McGuire. Cassie Mosgood, 3-time Pro Bowl selection on special teams for the Chargers, who signed him as an undrafted free agent wide receiver in 2003. Dennis Shaw, QB for the Buffalo Bills and St. Louis Cardinals, set an NCAA record for touchdown passes in a single game in 1969. Was named Offensive Rookie of the Year. Brian Sipe, NFL quarterback, part of the Cardiac Kids for the Cleveland Browns. Drafted in the 13th round in 1972, Sipe did not play in the NFL until 1974, but went on to be named the Associated Press Most Valuable Player in 1980. He played 10 seasons in the NFL and 2 in the USFL. Carl Turley, offensive tackle, was one of the highest drafted players in Aztec history. An All-Pro selection in 2000. The football team plays at Qualcomm Stadium. Basketball current head coach Steve Fisher, current head coach Stacey Terry. San Diego State has both men's and women's college basketball teams. Some of the more famous San Diego State students to latest star in the NBA and WNBA are Janae Morris, Indiana Fever; Courtney Clements, Atlanta Dream; Chelsea Hopkins, San Antonio Silver Stars; Michael Cage, All-Star NBA player with the Los Angeles Clippers, the Seattle Supersonics, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Philadelphia 76ers, and New Jersey Nets; Brandon Heath, Sacramento Kings; Marcus Slaughter, Miami Heat and Ice Bar and Bremerhaven; Coffee Leonard, San Antonio Spurs. Malcolm Thomas, San Antonio Spurs. Other Aztecs basketball alumni who became more famous outside the sport: a 1930s player Art Linkletter, who went on to an illustrious entertainment career that spanned more than 70 years, and Tony Gwynn, who also played baseball at San Diego State and opted for that sport professionally, ending up in the Hall of Fame. The basketball teams play at Viejas Arena on the San Diego State campus. The team has had moderate success since Fisher was hired as head coach. The Aztecs won the Mountain West Conference basketball tournament in 2002, 2006, 2010, and 2011, earning automatic bids to the NCAA basketball tournament. The Aztecs were also the regular season Mountain West champions in 2006. On March 19, 2007, a new National Invitation Tournament attendance record was set, at 26,752, in a loss in the second-round men's basketball game against Syracuse. They also made the MWC Tournament Finals in 2009, losing the championship to the Utah Utes 52-50, after being overlooked by the NCAA Selection Committee for the 2009 tournament. The Aztecs went on to win the first 3 rounds of the National Invitational Tournament, with a win against St. Mary's in the tournament's quarterfinals. The 2008-09 team set a school record for wins in a single season with 26. In 2010, both the men's and women's teams won the Mountain West Conference basketball tournament, earning an automatic berth to the NCAA basketball tournament. In the 2010-2011 season, the men's team had a phenomenal record of 32-2 to capture a share of the Mountain West Conference title, and winning the conference tournament outright for the automatic berth to the 2011 NCAA basketball tournament. The only losses of the regular season were to another top 10 ranked team, BYU, who the Aztecs later beat to win the tournament. They earned a second seed in the national championship tournament. Baseball. See San Diego State baseball and college baseball. Current head coach Mark Martinez. Some of the more famous San Diego State students. The latest are in MLB are Quinton Berry, Bud Black, Mark Grace, Chris Gwynn, Tony Gwynn, the namesake of SDSU's Tony Gwynn Stadium, where the baseball team plays at Smith Field. A baseball and basketball player at SDSU, Gwynn was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame at his first opportunity in 2007. He was also head baseball coach at SDSU from 2003 until his death. In 2014, Tony Gwynn, Jr., Aaron Harang, Doug Harvey, Travis Lee, Justin Masterson, Bobby Meacham, Greg Nettles, Al Newman, Addison Reed, Dave Smith, Steven Strasburg, Mark Williamston. Soccer. The men's and women's soccer teams play at Sports Deck on the San Diego State campus. The women compete in the Mountain West Conference while the men compete in the Pac-12 Conference. Men. In 1987, the San Diego State men's soccer team lost in the NCAA Men's Soccer Championship Finals by a score of 0-2 to Clemson. Famous Aztecs women. Current head coach Mike Friesen. Lacrosse. The San Diego State men's lacrosse team competes in NCAA Division I of the Southwestern Lacrosse Conference. The women's lacrosse teams begins play during the 2011 season in NCAA Division I of the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation. Both teams play the home games at the Sports Deck on the San Diego State campus. Notable non-varsity sports. Rugby. Founded in 1956, the Aztecs college rugby team competes in Division I-A in the California Conference. The team is coached by former player Alex Lichtig. The Aztecs won the 1987 national championship, defeating Dartmouth in the semi-finals, and beating Air Force 10-9 in the finals. The Aztecs have had recent success competing in their conference and nationally. The Aztecs gained national attention by finishing second at the 2010 Collegiate Rugby Championship, a tournament that was broadcast live on NBC. The Aztecs reached the quarterfinals of the 2011 USA Rugby Sevens Collegiate National Championships, before losing to eventual champions Life University. The Aztecs won their conference in 2012, and reached the semi-finals of the 2012 national playoffs by defeating Santa Clara 59-14 in the round of 16 and beating UC Santa Barbara 47-25 in the quarterfinals. The Aztecs won the 2012 California 7S tournament, beating Cal Poly 36-12 in the finals. This victory qualified the Aztecs for the 2012 USA Rugby Sevens Collegiate National Championships, where they notched a 4-2 record, including a win against rival Cal. Aztec Hall of Fame inductees. See Hall of Fame and footnote the show. SDSU Show is the name of the student section at all SDSU sporting events. Band. The San Diego State Marching Aztecs and Pep and Varsity bands are often seen at many sporting events including football, basketball and even volleyball. Notable athletes. See also the list of San Diego State University people. Marcelo Balboa, World Cup and Major League Soccer star. Bud Black, former Major League Baseball pitcher and current manager of the San Diego Padres. Jim Campbell, a former MLB pitcher. Joe Corona, current U.S. international soccer player. Isaac Curtis, a former National Football League receiver. Jeff Davanon, MLB baseball player. Fred Dryer, actor, producer and former NFL player. Herm Edwards, a former Kansas City Chiefs head coach. Marshall Faulk, Pro Football Hall of Fame, NFL running back and broadcaster. John Fox, current Denver Broncos head coach. Mark Grace, retired MLB player and World Series champion. Tony Gwynn, current Baseball Hall of Famer. Kabir Jabbar-Biamila, a former NFL player with the Green Bay Packers. Joe Gibbs, a former NFL head coach of the Washington Redskins and current NASCAR team owner. Arizona Zahir Hakim, NFL wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. Armand Ketian, sports journalist, HBO Sports, Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel. Travis Lee, MLB player with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Kawhi Leonard, NBA small forward for the San Antonio Spurs. 2014 NBA Finals MVP. Chris Marlowe, sportscaster, a former Olympic volleyball player. Kirk Morrison, current Buffalo Bills starting linebacker. Haven Moses, a former NFL receiver with Denver Broncos. Cassie Mosgood, Jacksonville Jaguars receiver. Noel Prefontaine, Toronto Argonauts kicker. Jimmy Ray, a former NFL player. Darnay Scott, former Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver. Don Shaw, a former MLB pitcher. Brian Sipe, a former NFL quarterback. Webster Slaughter, a former American football wide receiver. Dave Smith, a former MLB pitcher. Steven Strasburg, Washington Nationals pitcher. Carl Weathers, actor, a former NFL player. Apollo Creed. Eric Wilder, well-known World Cup and MLS soccer star, and current ABC Sports broadcaster. Gene Zelisko, sports journalist, Fox Sports.